Hello, once again, you are welcome. So please follow us. This is the interview recorded December 2019. Thank you. God bless you. Post on Facebook. Your world possibly pick up the message that we have that there's going to be a campaign at Teesside. I'll ring you back, Comrade Olalekan. Just give me 1 minute. So today we will be talking ahead of that campaign, which is going to happen on the 20th of this month, 20th at Teesside in Middlesbrough. And it has to do with the call for an independent investigation into the activities of the Teesside Social Works. Remember that at 10:30, we'll be going for a shorter break. That is at 10:30, but the program is right on until 11 o'clock. And I will just get the Comrade right online now, while I leave you to enjoy this wonderful single from Peter Tosh, Mama Africa. Good morning to you, Comrade. Okay, brilliant. I'm hearing you loud and clear now. For the benefit of those people who were not on our last interview, would you be kind to introduce yourself again? Who is Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi, and what do you do?
Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this honor. And I also want to say thank you to all the listeners. This is Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi. I'm the CEO of Slated and as a social enterprise business leader with over 11 years management experience in youth and women empowerment. I developed Slated. It's an African-led organization that empowering women and ex-offenders, giving them viable alternatives for the future. I was born in Nigeria. I'm currently residing here in the United Kingdom.
Right. Thank you very much. And bringing it right down to the particular campaign that we want to talk about today. First of all, we always try, as most people have known, right on this platform, to project African-led organizations which are pushing for a fair, just, and equitable society. So that's a good recommendation from us here to you. Now, pertaining to this campaign, I know there was a campaign that was done before. What exactly are the core focus of your campaign, and why is it necessary at this time?
Thank you very much. Following the conference that we had at Teesside University, we supported Commonwealth for Africa event, and we launched African and African Caribbean Network here in Teesside. We gathered some information and concern from the African parents and also from ethnic minorities, from Black, Asian minority ethnic communities living here in Teesside. This campaign is all about hope, with mission of securing a commitment for a real change to support children and their families. When this concern was raised, we tried as much as possible to do some of our findings, and we definitely, first of all, want to acknowledge the fact that there's a crisis here in the United Kingdom, in our NHS, in our schools, due to cost and austerity, that continue to generate and also impact on the level of poverty. And however, there are some elements of lack of trust in our public institutions. By saying this, saying that it has been great wealth and power to the very few people, while other families are being deprived. So basically, we look into research and we realize that it was evident from a report, IRO report 2017-2018, suggests it is almost 4 times more likely that a Black African child in Middlesbrough will be placed in look after care than a white British child. This gives us a concern, and we try as much as possible to conduct surveys, to meet parents, to have one-on-one with them, interview, and we realize there are elements of prejudice, there are elements of Afrophobia, racism, and this is really impacting on the mental and well-being of this African family.
Okay, thank you for that. So for if I'll put it straight, that means the campaign is actually to address that unfairness, or a sort of what you can call an institutional system which does not deal with the African or probably other ethnic minority in a fair and equitable manner. Would that be right?
Yeah, that is right, because not only in Africa, we realize that there are low-income white British parents as well. And this deals to prejudice we are talking about, and Black Asian ethnic minority. And what gives us concern is that if you go back to what Desmond Tutu put, he said, if you are neutral in situation of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If an elephant has its foot on the tail of the mouse, you say that you are neutral, the mouse will not appreciate your neutrality. So we have raised concerns, we have put complaints towards the Middlesbrough Council, complaint procedures, and unfortunately, the outcome was a kind of biased outcome.
Okay.
That shows there is an institutional discrimination, institutional biased treatment, and unfair treatment.
Okay, I also believe that what you're talking about is not limited to Teesside or Middlesbrough as a place. I think it's something that people have complained all about. In fact, also in Scotland here, it's something that people have complained about. I've also watched some videos that were sent from other parts of the United Kingdom, which actually calls a sort of a question on the operation of the social services, especially when it comes to families and children. Now, how strong is the voice for this campaign in Teesside?
Thank you very much. Just to portray what you mentioned, a report revealed that children are being placed in a grave danger by the very professional who should protect them. This is an inquiry which was done by all party parliamentary groups here at the House of Parliament in the United States. That is why we said it's not limited to Middlesbrough, like you mentioned. We started to get in touch with people across Teesside. In fact, we had an interview with community reporter from Teesside Life, but unfortunately, because there are limited power for ethnic minority here, unfortunately, it's not yet being published. It's not yet being given the voice that we require. That is why we parents, we family, we said, let's do it ourselves. Because there is a report that comes out that says that the ethnic minority, the level of diversity is getting increased here in Teesside. And Middlesbrough is the most diverse town in Teesside. And if the concern of the ethnic minority is not being put into consideration, that's due to lack of representation of ethnic minority in decision-making process. If you permit me to say, we started the complaint, like we wrote the complaint letter in February. In March, we got the outcome of stage 1 with no positive impact. We requested for second stage review, but it was ignored. They said it's not relevant, it's not adequately enough to look into this, whereas we provided cases for them to look at, independent review cases to look at. So that was then we call it, we discussion 18th of May. Through that, we formed a strategic stakeholder group in July. Through that July meeting, a parent that has been denied to see her children for 10 months, could you believe, under 1 week, they called our attention and they brought these children to her. So that is our people. We're leading this campaign by power of people. Even if we are not part of decision-making process, we will make sure our voice can be heard through your support, through support of other communities, from Black African community. And that is why we really appreciate your efforts, because you are Tyler Perry of our generation.
Thank you very much. We'll be going for a shorter break. And when we come back, I've got a video of one of your meetings where I had people were actually talking about the experience, including, I think, somebody from the Chinese community. We had people from the African communities. And there's also one, I don't know whether it's Welsh or English that I'm going to call him. He also was there, obviously saying that some things are not being done rightly by these social services. But we'll be back after this shorter break. Please do stay on with us.
Awaz FM, broadcasting on 107.2 and online, straight from your smartphone.
Straight from the hourglass, Glasgow, baby. It's your boy Mordecai Stars on Africa Live, 107.2 Awaz FM. Stay tuned.
Here, welcome back to the second segment of this program. This program ends at 11 o'clock and is coming to you from Awaz FM 107.2. Remember, you could get across to us at any time by dialing 0141-420-1072. Also, out of this program or this here time, you can actually send messages to us by sending it to africalive@awazfm.co.uk. Remember also that if you want to place advert with us, it's a community radio station, it's not for profit. So we operate, apart from possibly fundings that we get, we also take on adverts to promote your business. So if you want to do that, please get across to us. All right, let's get back to the business of the day. Thank you very much, Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi from Save the Women. And what we're talking about, just to recap, is the campaign that is set for the 20th of December 2019. And that is to call for an independent investigation into the activities of the Teesside Social Works. I'm just going to play this brief. Is a video, obviously you won't see it, but then you will hear the voice. And this is coming from one of the individuals in the host community. So even within the host community, there are people who are actually supporting this cause because they know that things has not been right. I will play that now.
What we're dealing with here is deep-rooted hypocrisy, corruption, lies, and people talk about money. How much does it cost to put on the contact, which doesn't need, you don't need supervised contact because you've got it there and you've invented lies and you've invented issues, and then this guy's mental health's being affected, so he's gone and seek services from the mental health services. That's a strain on them. If he's had health problems, it's a strain on the NHS.
Okay, that's the short one, and you can hear obviously that individual raging that is hypocrisy, is corruption. They come up with different excuses just to pick those kids from their children and then hand those kids to foster parents when that is actually not necessary. And he went on to talk about the impact of this. And these are some of the things we've also mentioned in the past as well, that when children are, I mean, even if we look into this country, we look at the values of this country, so to say, we see the way they treat animals. We've seen pets, we've seen dogs being rescued from drains, we've seen how they care so much, even about animals. But when it comes to human beings, especially from the ethnic minority, it doesn't take them anything to just rip children off from their parents. So, I mean, you can hear that gentleman raging about that corruption and the effect of it on parents. I mean, those are things that pushes some people into depression. People could become suicidal, I mean, for taking their children away from them. And we'll come back to that topic in a few minutes. So back to you, Comrade Olalekan. There was a document that were released during your campaign, which shows that no single penny was spent on intervention and prevention, but a whole lot of money running into maybe several thousands or close even to $1 million were spent on look after children. Do you want to expatiate on that?
Thank you very much. Just to start with what you first mentioned, in one of our conversations with one of the professionals that always refer children to care, to social services, because we got doctors, we got police, we got school, and we got social service workers. We asked, can you allow this dog to be adopted? Come and see how the person frown face. Say, no, I can't allow my dog to be adopted. Then, if you can allow your dog to be adopted, why now pushing a lot of Black African community into care, which makes up to be the second largest of group in Middlesbrough of children in care. Back to what you mentioned, there's a adoptive family and children are set to benefit from a multi-millionaire pounds investment. That was said by the Education Secretary. However, in Middlesbrough, they are also clamoring. They are crying that the impact of the national court is telling on their expenses. Cost for children in care make up the largest chunk of Middlesbrough Council budget. In 2017, 1/3 of the whole budget was spent on children in care. Okay. In 2018, 2/3 of the Middlesbrough Council budget was spent. In this 2019, one of the local councillors mentioned at one of the full council meetings, £37 million a year cost them to take children into care.
That's massive.
And on the 9th of October, I put up a question to the mayor of Middlesbrough to check if they have conducted independent review on what they spent on children, gifts, and taking them on holiday after taking them from their family. He accounted that they spent £1.44 million on buying gifts and taking children on holiday. These children, some of them were taken because a mother disciplined them that don't mess up the room. And they took away these children because the mother is trying to impart the cultural value, social value into their life.
Yeah.
And they took these children and they are taking them on cruise. And you know, ethnic minority, they are from low income earners.
Sure.
How many of them will be able to afford to spend that lavishly on children? And this system, they know that most children are materialistic.
That's it.
So when you excite them with all of these things, they will not want to come back even to your community. We ask them, how much do they spend to ensure children stay with their family?
Please help us like and share, put your comments. Please don't forget to subscribe. That is very, very important. If you love what we are doing, if you want to support us, please help us to subscribe. And you can also press the bell button. That will remind you, that will update you whenever we have a new video, whenever we publish a new video. Please help us subscribe. Take a time to subscribe and also share. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Best place, according to research, unfortunately, from their records, £0.
Yeah,
for the benefit of the listener, if you want to know how this matter so concerned, because there are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds. If you Google Middlesbrough Social Services, a critical concern, or alternatively, Stockton Council Children's Services, a critical concern, or in library, good Teesside Social Services, a critical concern. In Google, you will see how there are independents from aspects from every sector that are saying that there are laws that need to be reviewed. If you spend £0 in supporting family, in rebuilding this relationship, then what do you tend to say? In 2018, they spent £8.9 million to look after 53 children in 2018. How much does able parents that used to collect child benefits, how much do they get? So this is what we're talking about. When they are criminalizing the parents, how do they also look into their own financial management ethics?
You're right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you've actually answered quite lots of things that I was going to talk about, and thank you very much for giving us those facts and those links that people could type into Google and then check the fact we're talking about. So it's not just make up. I saw the document myself with £0 spent for intervention and prevention, but quite so millions spent to look after kids. And we've mentioned it before. I think I've also played it was audio, although video, but I think I've played it before, where one of the experts, professionals within that sector, actually stated that children are attracted by what they could get, what they will not get from their parents, because obviously, low income earners and most migrants or immigrants, the majority of them fall within that low income earner, and some people have to do 2-3 jobs in order to meet up with the expenses and other things. So they don't have that much extra. But then when you have kids in care, they have everything. They are taking on holidays, they're taking on cruise and stuff like that. So you have, even within those children, one has been mentioned, which was taken up then by, I think, Christian Council, where you have some kids in care, obviously encouraging other kids in their school that if they can create some bit of problem in the house, they will allow them to go into foster care, and then they could have Xbox, they could have PS2, 3, 4, they could have sneakers and nice hoodies. So it becomes quite very, very important to have all these things individually or independently investigated. And I think it's a shame on us as a nation if we are spending so much to cater for kids only after they've been removed from their parents, but we will not give support in order to stabilize a family that is struggling. But then I have to come back to you, Comrade Olalekan. I've mentioned just what I pick up from the video, although it's the audio that you had that I played from one of your meetings at Teesside. And the man was talking about how these things could affect parents emotionally and psychologically. I've also seen some of your some of the information that you put out in order to advertise this campaign, that even some people are suicidal because their children are taken away without any justification. Do you want to expatiate on that for us, please?
Thank you very much. This is the reason why we call for investigation into the whole process. And we put some cases forward, but unfortunately they are yet to look at that. When these children are being taken into care, like I've mentioned, for them to people have access to these children is difficult for parents. And there are no provision for programs of what they want them to do that will make these children to come back. That makes the parents more depressed. And you could see when there is too much of loneliness, you're depressed, nobody is hearing your voice. You start feeling a thought. You start feeling depressed, and that leads to mental illness. Even the parents take the children taken into care, they have psychological and emotional abuse already, and they are lifetime disadvantaged by separating them from their family. And when these parents they go to the meetings, most social workers are now telling them two conditions. You either accept you are a criminal and you have abused your child, for disciplining your child, for messing up your bedroom or messing up any part of your room. Accept you are a criminal. If you don't accept, then you are not having your children back. There are other parents, couples, that they will tell them, you need to divorce. If you don't divorce, then there's likely you will not have your children back. This traumatized these parents. They feel helpless. And in September, one Sunday, two families from white British low-income earners committed suicide. Even in African communities, there is a man, a family that they took away two of his children, and a few months after, when he's going to see one of these children, met this child on a wheelchair. That is the level of neglect you are seeing even from the children that are taken into care. The high level of neglect is much even more damaging than when they are in their family house. So when this parent saw this child on a wheelchair, he developed a stroke. It was this same stroke illness that impacted in his life and ended up he died. He was buried in September as well. So through this research, through this support, through this campaign, some parents are having hope. However, their voices are not yet to be heard in the right proper way. That is why a lot are still dying silently. Okay. And victimize them in a way that some are not able to pick up. We started with the parents. Now we've grown, maybe we've got more than close to 5-7 parents, and there are other people that are still coming forward, but there are many that they don't want to come up because they know they will victimize them all. And the major challenges we're having here is this. The family house or a relative or close family is the best place alternative if the children need to be taken away from their parents. But if any black family come up to support, they are going to be a target. And it creates that fear into that family, put more pressure on that family. So that family will not start experiencing our own experience, sharing our experience to other families, so that they will stay away. Nobody will be able to come forward to help. People like them will be the next target. Except to remain strong enough.
Okay. Shortly before we go to like taking the full details about the coming campaign, because of our time, I just want to, because some people might think that when we talk about these things that, it can't happen. It does happen. We've mentioned someone that a social worker told you will never get your child back. In fact, two parents. Also, there was an attempt to deport a parent out of the United Kingdom while our son was in care. So it's actually that bad. And by law, unfortunately, we have all these laws, but those laws seems not to be followed, or there are some sort of boxes to be ticked, which are just for format, what they would say for formality purposes, but are not actually followed. Because by what we have from expert reports, and even in some of the courts wordings, is that the most appropriate person for a child to grow with are the parents. And if the parents are incapable for one reason or the other, then another member of the family should be sought and the child should be kept there. If that fails, they look at the cultural aspect where the child has to be kept with somebody from within that culture. But all these things are hardly followed. And they've done it for over some time because people are not standing up. So it's quite a good thing that we're doing. And I would just want you to tell us what's going to happen on the 20th. If anybody wants to join in, if anybody wants to contact your organization for further directions, what do they have to do?
Thank you very much. We've created a Facebook page for the event. So we'll be sending the link to you now. So you help us share that. You follow through that link, they book the ticket to come over. Middlesbrough Town Hall is a very well-known place. That is where our meeting point is going to be. On the 28th of December, at 11 a.m. We are proposing to do it in under 3 hours, 11 to 2 p.m. And thank God we just got new MP elected. And one of his value of what he pushed forward is social justice, to fight against inequality, to fight against racial barriers, and also to promote community cohesion. So what we're putting forward is independent investigation to the process. We want them to organize, rather than spending money lavishly for the few people, for the adopted family, they should organize child protection training for the community, mostly for the new arrivals. They should organize cultural intelligence training for social services and the school staff, because these major problems are coming from the school. The school are the main points that need to initiate conversation with families, with parents, to build that community, rather than criminalizing, rather than referring them, and they will be saying they are following safeguarding procedure. The safeguarding procedure they are following, there are elements of bias in the process. There are elements of prejudice in the process, and we call something nepotism. They use this to feed other families from their community while they deprive the ethnic minority. We want to get as many as possible children back to their families in best place according to research. Because if they look into all these cases we put forward, we are going to work from Middlesbrough Tower to the MP's office, even to the local police station. Because these are the key areas. And unfortunately, we might not have access to the courts because the judge has power to make a decision whether the child should be taken into care or not. But depending on the information they provided to the judge.
That is it.
So what we are asking now is this: show us one Black African police officer. Show us one Black African top executive officer, or maybe team manager in Middlesbrough Council that always be part of your decision process. Let them provide this for us so that we know we are part of the decision-making process. Unfortunately, in the court process, we are not there. And people are not having funds. That's legal aid. Some might not have access to legal aid. There are people under immigration control. They have no recourse to public funds. This is where injustice prevails. They will not be able to have access to even argue their case when they know they are right. So we look forward. We want people, we want to plead to you. The media is not ready to support us. We've got a report, a we've got an article written by a community reporter submitted to Teesside Live. They are yet to release it. We don't know when they are going to release it because we don't have influence, we don't have power. Yeah. So if we don't have power in those key positions, then let's come out with our voice so that the mayor of Middlesbrough, the MP of Middlesbrough, the commissioner of police and crime commissioner, and all the judges in Middlesbrough in Teesside, they will stand up to speak for us, to support us, and to make sure these families are released. They rebuild the relationship and return as many accidents as possible back to their family, and we have a fair and a friendly community.
Right. Thank you very much, Comrade. That brings us to the end of the program. Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi, you can get him on Facebook or go on Google and just put in Save the Women, Middlesbrough, you will get them. We are running out of time. Thank you for everyone that have joined us today. Said Mwetala is there. Yemi Ademowa, of course, Olabode Apomu, Adoye Judek, Lydia Kotler, and we've got Akimbo Ale Tunde. Unfortunately, time has run out. He's got a message here. The community need to come up with a collective approach. It's not only in Middlesbrough. If we research other areas, you will be shocked. Thank you very much for that. Falano Victor, thank you. Olukayode, Adeniran Fagbinro, Prince Samuel Unwobodo, and all the other Ruth Malola on Nasaya and General View, and I've mentioned all others. Next week, we'll be right back here with another interesting. If you are in Middlesbrough or you want to take that sacrifice, please go to Middlesbrough Center on the 20th of December, just to put your voice, or even just share the message on your social platform. You will have done your part. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next Saturday, same station here, and same time, 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed the interview session. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed the interview session. Thank you so much. Please don't forget, please help us to like, leave comments, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and help us to share this. Support us by posting this on your social media, by encouraging more people to come on board. It's about community. Let's come together. Then we can change the narratives. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. See you next time. Don't forget to press the bell just down below. Press the bell so that any new video we uploaded,